Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? We are here as part of an MSI Guess and Test B55 Tomahawk review, kind of. More of a test than a review. So long story short, I was in a Facebook group, PC Builders Community. Not was, I still am. I'm in a Facebook group, PC Builders Community, where MSI sponsored an event called Guess and Test, where you had to guess based on a blurred out image of this. It didn't have the name, it had just a couple small parts shown. You had to guess what it was and describe a couple features, and I was randomly picked as the winner. So they sent me these things, of course, with everything going on. It took a while to get here, but we are here. And they sent over the Tomahawk motherboard, an R5 3600 processor, and the 360 MAG. Oh, let's find it here. Products. It's under. Sure where it would be. There we go. Liquid cooling. This one right here, the CoreLiquid 360R. So they sent that, the motherboard, and the processor. They said, try it out. Do either a video or a write-up review, just something. Spread the word about it. So this is the group. I'll throw a link down there. Feel free to join. It's a public group. Come on over. Lots of discussions, all kinds of good stuff. Lots of information if you're looking for something. So let's get into it. I've got on here, I've got it put together. Let me get rid of that. I got it put together, and we're going to do a couple things here. We're sitting idle. I wanted to show you, this is what we've got. In a Deepcool Matrexx 70 case, we have, of course, the B550 Tomahawk, or it just comes up as that in hardware monitor. And this is CPU ID hardware monitor. It's free software. Go grab it. So we've got the R5 3600. These are the stock settings. I have messed around with overclocking. We'll get into that. But I just wanted to kind of go through here and show you where we're at just stock. So it sits right around 1.425 under the 4.2 gigahertz. And we're sitting roughly 35C as far as the idle temperature. So that's going to be a good reference point. You see, just by having this open, we've peaked up to 47 so far, just by doing some things. Going down, we've got 4 sticks of G-Skill 3600, 16 latency, for a total of 32 gigabytes. So we've got this thing loaded out. I pulled this memory from another system. We've got a 1 terabyte Western Digital NVMe SSD thrown in our M.2 slot. And then I've got my backup drive for recording, and then I've got an RTX 2060. This is the MSI. They didn't send this, but it's the MSI Gaming Z. Beautiful card. Love it to death. It's been a beast so far. So let's get, we're going to pop that up here. And we're going to do a couple benchmarks real quick. First one is Cinebench. And we're just going to run this. I've done it once already, so there's a spoiler for you. But we're going to run that. And while that's running, it actually doesn't take long at all. But I wanted to tell you guys about what else I've got in the system. So the case has a was that a Hydro PTM 750 watt modular power supply. It's been a champ also, love it. No cable mods or anything like that. You've got the AIO mounted as the top exhaust with 3 front and 1 rear intake fans. So we've got 4 intake, 3 exhaust at the top on the AIO, and it's just running great. I've got the NVMe and a Western Digital MyBook external drive. This does, since I have the B550 Tomahawk, I've got the MSI Afterburner for my video card, and then we're gonna open up Dragon Center. It's MSI's, sorry about that. Come on, shut up. Bonus points if you can tell me what theme song that was from. That was just a Twitch notification. Let me move my phone. I should have done that again. Oh, look at that. We're almost done. So we're almost done. We're sitting at 55C. So with this AIO cooler on there, going full throttle, we did only score 2913, and that's the base settings. So let's crank this up for a minute. I'm going to use, just to save from going into BIOS and whatnot, I know it's not the best tool, but we're going to load up AMD Ryzen Monster. Let this load up, and it should come up with my overclock settings. I've found pretty optimal. An overclock of 4.3 with an undervolt of 1.2. Be careful when you start messing with voltage. That's when you actually start frying things, especially if you all going too high. But so we've got that applied. So now you can see. Oh wait, we didn't apply. There we go. Now we got a constant 4.3 gigahertz at a 1.2 volt instead of the 1.425. So we're going to go in here, clear our stats, back at 35C, and we're going to run that again. And it'll just take a minute again. But I got for case fans, I picked up a pack of EZDIY-FAB. They're just kind of a generic case fan, nothing fancy. They're quiet, plugs right in, sync the colors. I'll show you guys that too once this is done. But using the Dragon Center MSI Mystic Light lets me control everything. Now, one of the things I do love about this board, of course, is the way it looks. But the RGB has both 3-pin 5-volt RGB headers and the 12-volt 4-pin RGB headers. And you can control them all through the MSI Mystic Light. So anything you plug into it, you can control it. The M.2 slots have pre-installed heat spreaders. They call it the Frozer, F-R-O-Z-R. Oh, there you go. They're all 3682 that run. So, I mean, that's definitely a big increase just by doing that right there. This is okay if you just want to do some quick testing. I recommend apply and test when you're testing. But other than that, you can go into advanced and you can control everything. It's usually better to do it right in the BIOS, but we're not getting into that. We're just kind of testing things to see how they go. So let's pull up Dragon Center. As you can see, I've got a few games on here just to test things out, make sure everything's going. So we don't have any hard faults or anything. See, I've got Modern Warfare installed. So this is, you can turn on gaming mode and change this to what you need. If you want to go to extreme performance, it automatically tweaks things for you. I like to keep mine balanced. What are you doing? You're tweaking everything because I clicked on it. Alright, come on. So let's get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. Oh yeah, so here's where we peaked at 62. So since it's a constant 4.3 gigahertz, our temperature was a little bit higher. But at 62, you can't complain about that. Once you start getting above 80, then you want to start worrying. This CPU is rated for 95. At 95 is its safety shutoff. And sorry for the dog. Well, I'm not sorry. I have dogs. They're going to be noisy. There we go. So, balanced. You can set whatever mode you want. So here's just where you set it all. If you have monitoring software right here, see here we got the 3600 megahertz memory. There's a blank there. And these are our temperatures, usage, fans. I don't have anything plugged into system fan because I have the EZDIY-FABs are just powered through the power supply and then RGB controlled. You can turn on the monitor and it'll, has a little screen here. So if you've got like a little mini monitor or something plugged in, you can drag that over to it. The Dragon Center, they've put a lot of work into this. Highlights, if you have it on, I turned it off. I didn't want to mess with my games. All this, LAN manager, and then the Mystic Light. You can see here you can control everything, sync everything. Motherboard. Did I? No. Okay. Graphics card, memory, and like on the motherboard, you can select your 12 volt RGB, 5 volt RGB, and then this is your actual board colors here around here and any other LEDs that are on the board. So Dragon Center's nice. Like I said, they put a lot of work into that. I'm really enjoying this build. If you haven't seen one of my videos, I was not really showcasing, I was preparing to upgrade my computer. I came from a FX 6300 series with a Asus 750 Ti video card. And last year I was looking like, I need to find something I need to start upgrading, and started looking, joining Facebook groups and just trying to get knowledge on what's new out there, and got lucky with this. So big thank you to PC building community, MSI, and again, like I said, the contest was back in May, and it was supposed to ship in June, and here it is, the middle of August, and I just received this about 2 weeks ago. I had to order a case. The case I did have was the Max Viper, and I had the rest of the parts I had ordered because I was already in the process of upgrading the computer. So from here, what I'm going to do, I did do kind of like a build video snippet type thing, not a montage. I'm not anywhere near that level yet, but I do have some videos I'm going to piece together maybe throw some music in it just to kind of make it look somewhat decent. Let you guys see this case, all the parts, get everything thrown together. Like I said, I do love this board. This is a I want to say this is a perfect setup for gaming. I can play. Of course, I don't have 240 mega or 240 hertz monitors or anything like that, or even one for I've got 60 hertz monitors, 1080p. That's all I do. So the 2060 is perfect for me. I'm flatlined at 60 FPS most of the time with my VSync on and just regular, nothing high end, just having fun. That's all. This build right here, that's all it is. It's having fun, doing some recording. You see I've got RTX voice on here. I do have quite a few videos on my YouTube. So I'll definitely, the link for this is going to be through my YouTube. So feel free to check out some of those other videos. I've been doing some gameplays, and then I do have my one build video showing off my older computer before I started upgrading parts. But it plays Warzone perfectly, no issues. Andromeda, of course, PC Building Simulator, love that game. Not too realistic, but realistic enough that you can figure some things out. Strain to Deep, nice little survival game. And of course, you can't be a gamer without Fallout 4. Well, I guess you could, but I just don't know if we want to be friends. I'm just messing around with one. But alright, let me piece together some videos for you guys. Probably about 15 minutes of that or so. Feel free to just kind of drop off now if you want. This is not much at the end of the review. So show off the parts and talk a little bit more about those. And feel free to check these out over at MSI. It's available on Newegg, Amazon. Like I said, the motherboard was released. The competition was prior to release for the board, and then it's been released now for a couple months. So I'm sure there's plenty of actual reviews on this board. It is a full ATX board too, so you got to keep that in mind when you're selecting a case. But other than that, we'll get you guys to the videos, and if you do end up going with this board, you won't regret it. It's been great. I've had absolutely no issues. Even installing Windows was no big deal. I mean, it was. I plugged in my installation USB. It picked up the NVMe because it was the only drive on there. I do have all my Steam games and everything on that. But during installation, just plug in the USB. It recognized the NVMe immediately, installed to that, booted right up, no problems. But like I said, if you guys end up going with this, you won't regret it. The AIO has been working perfectly. I think it's just everything they've since been great. And again, thank you to everyone, PC Builder community and MSI for sending these to me. They're definitely not going to go to waste, that's for sure. So thanks again, everyone. Hope you enjoy these little build videos, snippets. But thanks for watching, everyone. Hey, everyone. I'm here for a special treat for you guys. This is down in my dining room. But we got a Guess and Test from MSI treat for you guys. Now what this is I was in a Facebook group, PC building community. Sorry about that. I'll throw a link down below for the Facebook group. But this was part of a Guess and Test. You had to guess what this bad boy was. And they sent you all of this to test it out. So we've got, of course, the B550 Tomahawk for AMD.
PCIe 4, so this is going to be nice. An R5 3600 6-core processor. Throw some stats up there for you guys. And then MSI's new MAG CoreLiquid 360 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooling system. Now, if you hear the little paw prints, those are the toenails, those are my dogs. But for this, I'm going to hand that over. We've got a Deepcool Matrexx 70. Put all this in. It's going to be nice. We're going to throw in it a GeForce RTX 2060 Gaming Z, also from MSI. They didn't send that. That's my personal. We've got a 750 watt Hydro power supply, fully modular. We've got some EZDIY case fans, and yes, that is empty. I'm using those fans in a different build, so we're just going to transfer those. Again, these are empty, but we've got 2 sets of 3600 megahertz 8 gigabyte for a total of 32. There's the sticker for them. And of course, for storage, we've got a nice 1 terabyte Western Digital Black NVMe SSD. So what we're going to do is we're going to start throwing this thing together. Sorry, I'm not going to have a montage for you, but we will get a couple breaks once we get to a couple key points. I'm not going to show you installing the fans, things like that, but once we get the motherboard seated in there, we'll get that shown to you and get everything else. Just kind of show you a paused build video, we'll call it that. But we'll get this all together for you, so just hang on for just a few minutes. We'll get this started and bring you guys back for some more. Alright guys, popping back in for 1 second. I wanted to show you this case empty. So it is set up for its full tower, set up with enough room for an ATX motherboard. I think it even supports eATX, but I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that. But we have enough room at the top for the 360 or the front, and then the back is up to 140, and then the bottom where I got the power supply set up, and there's our hard drive cage. You probably didn't see it before. There's a glass panel that sits right on top of that. I wanted to take this out because I'm not using a hard drive, but this is the only support for that glass panel other than this little tab right here. So I'm going to leave that in so that I can screw back down into there. I am going to put the radiator up top here, and then I'm going to have the front fans bringing air in, the back fan bringing air in, and then this pushing air out. Because for gaming, you want your video card, you want that to have as much cool air as possible. So it's kind of either you have the warm air from the video card going through your radiator, or the warm air from the radiator hitting your video card. So I'm going to go with this way just so we have the best temperature possible on our video card. And here's the front, completely empty. This case does come empty like this, except for this fan, which is mounted at the back. I ripped it out because we're going to put in the whole set over there. So here's the motherboard. Let's get this opened. I got my son helping me out, and he decided to hit the snooze button. So here it is. Let's get this out of here. I'm pretty sure, yep, we got SATA cables for hard drives, solid state drives. We're not going to need it. Sticker, disk, don't need that either. There's our manual, well, installation guide. That's the manual. We're going to need that. So, I think that's it. We'll keep both of those. We'll throw these back in here. Throw that back in. here is a nice tip for anyone looking to build. Before you go plopping this thing in here and setting everything up, take it out, install everything on the box. Not going to hurt anything. Take that out. So, we have our, that's how she looks right there. I like it. We got a nice spot right here for our M.2. And then memory here, CPU there. So first, we're going to get that thing installed. Before we do that, let's open up our other package real quick. We don't need to open this. It's pretty generic. Got the processor right here. There's an AMD, I think it's the Wraith heatsink. I'm not sure. We'll need those. Set them over here. Let's open up this. But we're probably going to end up installing this first. It is childproof. Ow. And if you're not bleeding by the time you're done building, you didn't do it right. That goes for anyone that's worked on cars or computers. They'll know what I'm talking about. We got a seal here. Come on. That was childproof. Jeez. There it goes. Oh, both ends.
You can use the flathead part on this one.
Nope, it opens sideways.
Oop.
Alright, let's get that. That's going to be a radiator. There it is, right there. So we've got a nice radiator here. Be careful of the fins. They will bend. We got, I guess this would be a service port. If you ever need to fill it or maintenance it. That's our block and reservoir. And this is going to be our pump, I think. I'm not sure. We'll have to look into that. So let's set that back down. Comes with 3 fans, perfect. Bag of goodies. I need that. Oh, forgot to check. I think that's just MSI. Bound to be documentation somewhere. Installation guide. We'll probably need that. Maybe not. Yep. Looks good. So, need a bag of goodies. I've got some Arctic MX4 thermal paste I'm going to use. That's not labeled, so I don't know what's in here. Yeah, I'll go grab my Arctic MX4 and use that. A bunch of jumpers, brackets for Intel, AMD, and mounting screws and everything. That one's LGA. That one's probably going to be LGA. Yeah, there we go. One more bag of goodies. Ooh, TR4. So you could use this for a thread ripper. So I do happen to have a thread ripper sitting right back here. That I took these parts out of. So so this is going to be, I'm guessing this is going to be just generic screws Looks like it was designed more for AM4, but it's Intel compatible. So, whoa, shocking. Where's that? Oh, that's one of the screws. So let's get this set up. And we're going to set this, like I said, we're going to put this right up here. I think we're going to go this way with it. Just like that. And we're going to have that go on just like that somehow or another. We'll try and get the logo upright. Yeah, it goes just like that. So, we will cut back, get some more work done. And I wanted to show you one other thing here. Where did they go? Over here. There's our thing. And here's our memory. And these are going to look nice in here. Get that G-Skill lights going just like that. We'll put these in the A 1.5 and B 1.5 for now. There we go. So that's going to look pretty nice. I think that did. Yeah, I put them in backwards. Don't laugh at me. I'm getting too old for this. There we go. All right, there you go. And we'll be right back in just a few more minutes. All right, guys. A couple quick notes here. We've got her set in the case. I wanted to point out a couple things I'm really liking about this board. First is the built-in heatsink for your M.2 here. That's really nice. The number of fan and RGB headers is awesome. So you've got CPU fan there, your power fan, or yeah, power fan, pump fan, that's what that is, pump fan, an actual pump connector. You got a 5 volt ARGB connector there, 2 more fan connectors for PWM. Down here you've got some more. Plus you have, if you see right there kind of in the center of the screen, is a 12 volt RGB header. So if you've got mix matched fans or RGB strip or something, you can use that. In addition, you don't have to worry about having all that extra stuff, converters or anything. And then lots of USB headers. There's another, 5th system fan right there. Everything's just absolutely wonderful so far, and it's nice to look at. Got a nice sleek look to it. The IO shield is built in to the heat spreader here, so that's another bonus. But we are ready to install. Got all that installed. Do keep in mind when you're building, your power connector may be back here, so you may have to connect that before you set your board down. But she's coming along. Next time you'll see me, we'll have this thing built, and we'll have a power or light show for you, and then we'll get in and do some, get everything installed and do some tests through a regular recording software. So see you guys then. All right, guys, here we are. We got her together. I think it looks pretty good. We're going to flip this thing on. And there it goes. We got lights. It's doing its checks. I think it's going to be all right. Take a look at that. We even got the logo on right for that. What's that? It says CPU. We'll give it a try here. So let me go get it hooked up, and we'll oh, must have been a reboot because it's going down the list again. Oh, look at that. We got a clear post. Well, that's one thing I didn't see. Speaker. I'm gonna have to find that. But let me go get this set up, get some get Windows thrown on it, and get back over to my normal recording software. And of course, my lights kept on their normal pattern. There's a filter for up here, but I'm not going to put it on because this is exhausting air, so we don't really need to filter that. And we got more than enough input or intake that we don't need to do that. I might throw a filter back here though. Actually, that would probably work, but I like it. We're gonna go mess around with it, and we'll be right back.